Today's movie is Food Fight, called the worst children's movie ever made. Now, I still think that goes to Elf Day, but then Elf Day's villains aren't thinly veiled Nazis. Elf Day's heroes aren't the thinly veiled French resistance. Elf Day doesn't have many Casablanca references. Elf Day also doesn't have many food puns. Elf Day also doesn't have homosexual references, nor does it have sexual references. So maybe Food Fight has a chance to be the worst children's movie ever made. But I still say it's Elf Day. So it starts out with a happy pop song, as all children's movies should. Except if they start out with a sad pop song or a medium pop song. And then we see our hero, Dex Detective, trying to get some sort of babies, I'm not sure what kind of babies they are, from a villain on top of a hot air balloon. He throws cheese to get these hairless hamsters off the hot air balloon, and then stabs the hot air balloon, jumps off it, and gets the babies, and then throws his grappling hook and gets down to the ground, revealing it's his 500th case solved. And then he talks to his friend, Daredevil Dan, who I'm not sure what kind of animal he is, but he sponsors something chocolate, because all these things sponsor some kind of food. Because because they're all food icons. And he says he's going to propose to his girlfriend, Sunshine Goodness, who we then meet, and her voice is very annoying. And then Dexter Detective and Sunshine Goodness go for a picnic in the park. And then Daredevil Dan gets in a crash, and Sunshine Goodness goes to check on him, and she's gone for good. And we go 6 months later, when Product X shows up. It's a kind of laundry detergent, and Christopher Lloyd is peddling it. He apparently went to the future and got it. And he stomps on some chips to find a spot for it. And Dex Dog Detective is opening a club, hence why we see a bunch of Casablanca references. Product X shows up at the club, and it is a beautiful woman. And Dex Dog Detective is drinking too much milk, which is bad on his bones. Because drinking too much calcium is actually bad for your bones. To drink some kind of salt water, actually, it's better for your bones. But that's just what I've read. The woman leaves with Daredevil Dan, and then some Ikes are dead in the next night. And Daredevil Dan has disappeared. Dexter Detective has hung up his detective case, but decides to go looking for Daredevil Dan, because Daredevil Dan wouldn't give up on him. And he visits Product X Lady, who has a name, but I don't know if they ever mention it. And he visits her, and they dance, destroying everything in her office, which is the ultimate kind of dance, the dance of destruction. And then she knocks him out and puts him and Dan in the dryer. and they escape with a sock. And we see Product X has taken over all the shelves where the old Ikes used to be that have died. Ikes are stand for icons, okay? So just try to follow me. And Product X lady and her new Product X people say they will protect the city. And Daredevil Dan and Dex Detective order everyone to say they're going to recall Product X by crossing over through the day where humans are walking through the supermarket. And they do. But Product X people cut the power to the computer or to the supermarket before they can get there. And they meet the chocolate vampire guy who was supposedly killed, but he's undead, so he can't really die. I suppose unless you melt him, or drive a stake through his heart, or drive a garlic stake through his heart, or drive a melting garlic stake through his heart. He's played by Larry Miller, so he's pretty funny. Just put him on a grill and flip him over every few seconds. He'll die. He helps them get out. and the market somehow has power again when they go to the back of it. But Product X lady is speaking to the people and says there are two kinds of Ikes now, the desirables and the undesirables. And they have to choose what they're going to be. And she has troops lined up to take out the undesirables. As I said, they're pretty much Nazis. Dex Detective has all his men as a bunch of the Ikes in his club. And they go over a plan to go to war with Product X. And the battle is actually pretty fucking cool. I mean, there's whipped cream used as missiles. There's ketchup. There's donuts. There's hot chocolate. There's all sorts of pies. Now, these are all massively bigger than the Ikes, because the Ikes are like little guys like this. And this is regular sized food. So, but it's really cool. But then Product X uses its stinger bee things, which kill Ikes. And they kill the penguin. Not like the penguin from Batman, but like the penguin Ike. And Dex Detective tells them to tells the giant nose guy, who looks like, well, he looks like a giant nose, to find a cure for the poison. And then they send the weasel to cut the power to the X building and put like aluminum foil on top of all the rest of the building so the electricity will hit the X building. And then Dex goes with Daredevil Dan. He uses Daredevil Dan's plane, and Dex jumps off to land on the X building to stop the planes from refueling, which he does, and then I can't talk tonight. And then saves Sunshine Goodness. And then the building blows up and everyone dies. Now, Dex and Sunshine Goodness, and they're saved by Dan. And then Christopher Lloyd is back. He's like, we're going to travel back to 1985. No, he's a giant robot, which they stop. which is driven by the ex-lady, who then Sunshine Goodness beats up, and Sunshine Goodness and Dex get married, and that's the whole movie. So besides the thinly veiled Nazis, the thinly veiled French resistance, oh, I forgot the Larry Miller guy hits on Daredevil Dan a lot. So that's homosexual references. Lady X hits on Dex Dogtastic a lot. So that's sexual references. Let's see what else we got in there. We got a lot of Casablanca references. And we got a lot of food puns. This movie's pretty good. And does not deserve to be the worst children's movie ever made. But then again, maybe Nazis shouldn't be in children's movies. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Should we make children's movies about Nazis? Or maybe the Nazis should be the good guys in children's movies, since Donald Trump's a Nazi and we think he's a good guy. I mean, I don't, because he's a freaking Nazi. I bet that Hitler made some children's movies where Nazis were good guys. So let me know what you think. Should the Nazis be good guys in children's movies? Should Nazis be bad guys in children's movies? Should we not make children's movies with Nazis? And join me next week where we'll talk about Jeff Jarrett when he won the AAA Mega Championship and declared himself the King of Mexico. This was in TNA. And we will look at the movie Goldilocks and Three Bears, Death and Porridge. It's a fairly cheap movie to buy, and it looks hell a lot entertaining. So see you then.